right, what is up, boys? Today we're doing Ask Diaphone again, where you guys can enter my Discord, submit me questions, and I'll respond to it abusing your questions for content. So appreciate everyone that's responded and asked questions in the Discord, and I figure we'll go through them now. So Funny Valentine asks, hey, I just started Street Fighter and I'm grinding rank, really trying to improve, but all the characters I like are really fun to play, but people complain about them. Yeah, I hate to, and you feel like I might be better off playing someone like Ed, Kim, or Ryu versus Ken and Luke because, you know, you might feel like a fraud and that sort of thing. Now, this is really interesting because there was a very recent tier list from Gachikun, and actually, I'll pull this up right now. First point, playing top tiers are financially responsible. Hold up, I guess I'll play this.
Financially responsible! I can't stop winning! I can't stop winning! I can't stop winning! I can't stop winning! I can't stop winning!
So it's part mindset, right? Someone might feel like a fraud, someone else might feel financially responsible, right? Now, look at the most recent tier list that this is Gachikun. As you guys know, Gachikun's been fucking cooking people in Street Fighter. They won something very recently. They're qualified for the Esports World Cup. And some of the characters that you put that you might feel like you're better off learning, like Ed's above Luke. People actually don't think Luke is that strong right now. And I kind of agree. He took a lot of his big thing was he had really good damage and really ignorant buttons. And they remove both of them, right? So of course he's gonna go down the tier list. So part of this is like you're feeling guilt for a character that's not even that strong. Like to me, you almost have to not worry about this. And because season 2 is so new, we don't actually know who's top tier. You know, a lot of people in America think Aki's top 5. This has Aki not even in top 10, right? There's a lot of uncertainty, and just because, like, let's say Lily, for example, won Combo Breaker, everyone's like, oh, Lily's top 5, Lily's OP, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, now she's down here, right? So there's a lot of ambiguity when it comes to tiers, and if you get guilty every time someone that plays let's say you're playing Ken, and that Ken wins a major, and everyone's complaining about Ken, you're gonna have a really shitty time playing fighting games. So, no, I do not think you're better off playing someone like Ed or Kim or Ryu. Play who you like, right? And really, like, yes, it's gonna sometimes if you play someone really broken like Nier in Granblue, yeah, people are gonna be like, haha, you're carried, whatever. But you might be carried, but you're also a lot fucking smarter than them because you picked the right character on the character select screen, right? So if I want to I can call someone carried by a character, but I can't say that they are smart. They are like not as good of a player as me, right? Because they picked the right character on the character select screen and I didn't. So yeah, you can also feel that way. So it's up to you how you justify it, but yeah, strong characters are popular. Same thing with Akuma. Other people are going to play these strong characters against you, so you have to figure out, you know, how to rationalize it. Obviously, low tier characters have some advantages. So for example, you can get away with a lot more Kim gimmicks than you can get away with Ken gimmicks because everyone knows a Ken matchup because Ken's really strong and there's more Kens out there, right? So yeah, don't worry too much about tiers. I think realistically, unless you're playing like an unviable character, a lot of the things about tiers often balance out on the end unless there's like some really, really broken character like Nier and Granblue. Nier, we were literally just watching CEO and Nier took first, second, and fourth. Yeah, that character needs nerfed. Anyways, G, our guest bite, says, when you consider yourself to be good at the game, is there a point where you just, I guess we can put on the stuff. They're still playing, they're playing Killer Instinct, huh? Is there a point where you realize, oh, I'm good at the game? I don't really consider myself good at the game. I'd rather just get the feeling that I know what I'm doing. Obviously, being a good player is super subjective because to my friends who I share Tekken clips with someone, they think I'm good, but this reminds me. So I get where you're getting at, right? Being good is very subjective, right? If you look at like master rank distribution SF6, right? If you look at this is 5 months ago, so this is a little outdated, right? If I was in the top 10% of NBA players I consider myself to be really strong, right? I consider myself to be one of the best basketball players. If you're 10%, you know, you're a master, right? If I consider myself to be, I don't know, like the top 50% of a really competitive field, I still consider myself to be really good, right? So this is like when you're playing with your friends and your friends don't even like own the game and they're just playing it casually and they've never actually entered ranked and you're like a gold player, yeah, of course they're gonna be like, oh shit, you're really good, right? So yeah, being good is really relative. Me personally, it's really hard to ascribe something. I think, you know, this is one of those things where the goalposts always change. You know, I work out a lot, and I remember when I started first going to the gym, I was like fucking skinny as shit, and it was hard for me to bench the bar. And after a few years, I was able to bench like a 45-pound plate on each side, you know, 135, and I'm like, all right, am I strong now? No, I didn't think that. I'm like, damn, I want to do 2 plates on each side, right? Like the goalpost kept moving. Even though me, back when I was skinny as shit, would have loved to do 135. Now that I can do 135, it's like, all right, I gotta hit 225. And I'm really close to hitting 225. And I'm sure once I hit 225, it's gonna be like, damn, well, if I hit 225, I can hit 315, right? So it's really hard to say like what's good and what's not, especially because the goalposts change. And it's like, why does it matter if you're good at the game or not, right? If your goal is improvement and that sort of thing. So because this happens to a lot of top players, is like, actually, oh my god, bro, Twitter is a fucking gold mine, right? So Zerom, who's probably the best Charlotte in the world, they just got 3rd in Granblue, right? They literally just lost to 2 near players. Their first tweet after they lost was, "I'm a fraud." You see why the goalpost keeps changing, and it's really easy to beat yourself up and say, I'm not good, right? And it happens to everyone. But at the same time, like, I guess what I'm trying to get at is like, it's really hard to consider yourself like good after a certain arbitrary point, right? Because the goalposts keep changing. So my definition, I'd say if you're in like master rank, if you're in like the top percent of the player base, you're good. But I mean, again, it's all relative, right? So yeah, that's a really hard question to answer. I don't think it really matters like what good is defined as. Dealing with the 3D 2D transition, not in charge. Hey, I'm primarily a Tekken player trying to tip toes into Street Fighter and Strive. Sheer concept of a 10 frame attack being considered slow and a 4 frame, yeah, is fast. Moment I would get in the kissing range of the opponent, I simply fall apart. So yeah, there's a lot of differences between 3D and 2D, right? So someone that has made the transition from a 2D to 3D, there's a lot of things that like were really hard, right? Like sidestep, for example. Like I did not understand when to sidestep. I didn't understand why I should sidestep at certain times. Combo timing, strings, matchup knowledge was a huge thing. There's many different things that like would throw me off about the transition, right? And what I found to be most helpful is to figure out like what are the things I can transfer and understand like how those transfer things would, you know, apply in the context of Tekken, right? So take for example, I use Victor, and I had like this move called While Running 2, which is basically a plus unblock move, but it's really slow to start up. And Granblue, the other game I was playing at the time, had something very similar with Dash L. It's a slower move, but it has really good reach and it's plus unblock, right? So I kind of treated the 2 moves the same, and a lot of the mind games after blocking like a 6-6L in Granblue were really similar to a While Running 2 and in Tekken. And so try to think of like things in terms like that. So for example, like it doesn't really matter about the frame data, right? For a 10 frame attack being slow in Street Fighter, it's more of like this fast move in Street Fighter, you'd use how you use a fast move in Tekken, right? That's really similar. So for example, if you're getting pressured and you're getting, you know, they're mixing up your shit, you're not gonna poke out with a slow move, you're gonna poke out with a fast move. That's really similar in both Tekken and Street Fighter. So try thinking in terms of like where things are similar and focus less on like the specifics of like frame data or like what's actually different. Because if you look hard enough, you'll find a lot of different similarities. All right, new to fighting games. Hey, I'm new to fighting games. Cool. I think the TLDR, I'm talking especially what mindset to achieve. Also understand the game. Gameplay wise, do you think it's better to learn footsies or other skills first? So yeah, this is hard, right? Because this is basically like, I'm doing fighting games. I don't know where the fucking start. So I have a video on that. I think the TLDR of that video, if you're not sure where to do, like what to focus on with fighting games, I think number one is figure out what controller you're gonna play. Figure out how to execute things on the controller. So making sure you get all the moves out you want to get out is like probably the most essential thing. And then it's figure out how you're going to train, right? So are you going to play online? Do you have a local community? You should probably like learn a bit online before you go to local community, right? You should probably find like resources online that will help you play, whether it's like a community like ours, or it's like videos, like educational videos and that sort of thing. And just try to absorb a lot of knowledge, because there's not like one path to like get good at fighting games, and it's a lot of time, it's a lot of effort. So to me, it's like just pursue your interest and figure out like how you want to improve and like what you like most about fighting games, and like try to exploit that and keep like get the reps in and then go from there, right? But in terms of like gameplay wise, execution is definitely the most important thing. Mentality wise, understand that you're new, and just like any other skill, you're gonna suck for a bit. But you know, if you have the right mindset in terms of like improvement, and you're not afraid to take losses and use those losses to improve, you'll be in a pretty good spot. I covered this. What's my patch list for Granblue? So yeah, Granblue's coming out pretty soon. Patch 1.5. Let me know what you guys want in Granblue 1.5. But yeah, I think there's a lot of things I want. Number one is, please, for the love of God, nerf Nier. This character is fucking broken. I think she went from SSS tier to SS tier. You know, she took a huge nerf, but she still breaks the rules of the game, and she's still really, really strong. And unquestionably, in my mind, she is top one. With a couple of characters pretty close, but like arguably not in the same tier of closeness, right? So that's the big one. If they only nerf Nier, I'm completely fine with nerfs, right? To me, they need to buff some certain things. They need to buff a lot of the lower tier characters, give them some more tools. So for example, like Anila, Percival, they buffed those characters really well. I think Anila was a bottom 5 character. They buffed her to be like mid-high tier. Do that for a lot of the other cast, right? Like it's not like they overtuned any character by buffing them too much. So just kind of take that similar approach and apply it to more characters. I think that'd be good. I still think Brave Counter should probably be nerfed. I would like to see like a kind of meta shakeup, or like just a general like how they play the game a little bit differently. I think Brave Counter, just give it like 6 more frames of recovery. And actually, I don't know, like maybe just a little bit more recovery. Maybe 6 frames is a little too much. It wouldn't be punishable, but it'd still be minus, and you get a little bit worse Oki. I think that'd be okay. It'd still be really good. So yeah, they just need to do something to like shake up the meta. So those are my main things, and you know, give us some cool characters. But yeah, fix the balance. Is there any actual correlation between grappler viability and people complaining about grapplers? Yes. I unequivocally yes. People do not complain about low tier characters, right? When was the last time? We'll take Street Fighter for example, because Street Fighter is probably one of the most popular fighting games right now. When have you seen someone complain about Jamie on Twitter? I haven't. I haven't seen anyone, man, fuck Jamie, this character's fucking broken, right? I don't see anyone complain about Manon and be like, man, fuck Manon, this character's broken. No, everyone's complaining about Zangief because he got hella buffs. And I bet if I open up twitter.com and I type the words in Zangief, right? And I'll probably actually, Chrissy CH is a professional hater. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen enough. That has all changed. Zangief must be stopped. He also released like a let me see if I can find it. He released like a matchup tier list for Zangief, basically just calling Zangief OP as shit. So yeah, people mainly complain about top tier characters. It's not just grapplers. People just complain about top tiers in general. Like I've complained about Nier for half this video, right? You don't see me complaining about Vayne because Vayne's not a very good character. But yeah, definitely a huge correlation. Once you control for standard amounts of character hate at any different level, do you think people disproportionately complain about grapplers when they're good? Yeah, I think so. I think people definitely, I do think people disproportionately complain about grapplers. Why that is, I don't know. Maybe it's just the human psychology of like, man, I hate to be in this situation where it feels hopeless, and I fucked up, and the grappler player is like making really good reads and making me feel like an idiot. Maybe people don't like that. I'm not really sure, honestly. But yeah, I definitely think people disproportionately hate grapplers. I've never really understood it, because I think I hate Zangief just as much as Gal in this game. But yeah, I think other people disproportionately hate. Maybe it's just because like they don't like guessing. To me, you win against a grappler neutral, and people don't like to play neutral. All right, tips on forming practice drills. Hey, longtime fighting game player. Okay, I guess is my new name now. That sounds like a Heidi, sure. Asking to know if there's a good way to structure practicing within a game, and if anyone in particular knew a good way to do that, as I tend to get distracted easily without a game plan. 1 hour to do so, practice the game because of our life duties, double or practice, haven't found a good routine. Yeah, I think I'm actually trying to put a video out about this, right? I don't want to spoil the video. A lot of it's like how to actually create drills as opposed to specific drills. I think beginner players, again, should focus on execution, most important thing. I think intermediate players focus on combos, focus on basically think of like the highest reward things, and then figure out how to make a drill about it, which is drills usually like making sure you can do consistently 100% 5 out of 5 times on each side or something like that, right? To me, if I were to like make a plan, someone like held a gun to my head and they're like, make a plan, it would probably be me guessing what would be the highest reward activities for someone, right? So again, beginner players, execution, intermediate players, combos, making sure you know how to stop mashing, reacting to certain things like jump-ins in Street Fighter, reacting to, I don't know, Raging Strike and Granblue, and then like slowly advancing on top of that, right? But I guess the best piece of advice I can give you is like try to figure out what is the most critical things holding you back, right? And so to me, it's like looking at your own replays, or like, you know, you just leave a match, and I mean that's the most efficient way to do it, right? You leave a match and you're like, why did I lose that, right? And usually it's probably something like, you know, maybe your anti-airs are off, maybe you're not checking drive rush. I mean, I don't even know what game this is, but you get the idea. Is like there's gonna be certain things that you can control that aren't guessing, that you can improve upon, and then make a drill to like improve upon that, and then just keep doing that, right? So to me, it's like drills have to be paired with gameplay, because gameplay will tell you what drills you need to work on. Oh yeah, someone did. I actually saw that. I forgot to respond to that. Someone did put like a ChatGPT. I don't know where the fuck that is though. Oh, here we go. I asked ChatGPT for a fighting game training schedule. This is so funny. This ties in because I for some reason I missed a couple questions. I don't know why. 3 hours a day max. Does that even make sense? How would ChatGPT do this, right? So they're saying day 1 fundamental, because like, you know, you go to the gym, right? You're not gonna work out the same muscle group every day. So day 1, fundamentals focus, warm up for execution drills, fundamental skills. I personally think 2 hours in training mode and 1 hour in online matches, especially for new players, is very harmful. I would probably change that to like 1 hour, maybe like 15-minute warm up, and like a half hour fundamentals, but also like play online matches and then like work on a couple things in between online matches to give yourself a little break. That's how I would structure it. Day 2, character mastery. Warm up. Okay, all these warm ups need to be way shorter. Character specific strategies, play online matches. I think this is okay. It's just like, and the same thing like day 4, you're not gonna like, if you're new to the game, like you're not gonna focus on the basics and then day 4 already be ready for advanced techniques. So I don't really like this. If I were to structure, if I had 3 hours a day, I would probably spend like 1 or 2 days just not playing online, and like reviewing my matches, reviewing other people's matches, labbing out stuff, labbing out techniques. Because to me, it takes a little bit of time for me to get into the mindset of playing, and that takes a while. So like I'd probably like split these up into like you're basically like doing a whole buy split every day with this training plan. I think splitting up into like different sections is better. All right, anyways, like, just subscribe, take care, y'all, peace.